1045 The Team, 1045theteam.com. On the phone right now, Jaques, head women's basketball coach at Siena College. Kicking off your fourth season tonight, Coach. We always focus on what the emotions of the players are on opening night. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm excited. We've got a young group with a lot of energy, and they've been really fun to coach so far. And we're going into a hostile environment at St. Bonaventure where, probably not a lot of people think we got a chance to win, so we like that.
Coach, you're coming off your first winning season in 11 years, 22-13, one of the best turnarounds in all of Division I. It's probably safe to say that you can't duplicate a turnaround like that this year. What are realistic expectations for your squad?
That's an interesting question. We've tried to stay really focused on the process just because we are so young. We have 6 freshmen and 5 sophomores. I think we're extremely talented. I think this is the most talent I've had since I've been here at Siena, and that's a credit to all our assistant coaches who've come through and worked really hard to recruit great players. So, I think one thing we had last year that you really can't create necessarily is chemistry. We just had great chemistry on that team, and it's my hope that carries over to every team from here on out, because that team really set the standard for that. But from a talent standpoint, this team is really balanced. We can shoot the ball. We can get, obviously we can finish inside with Margot and Meg. We've got a young point guard. I think that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But sky's really the limit for us.
How did getting to the CBI title game help your team last year and help your program moving into this year?
Well, I think that was just a great run down the stretch. I think beating Iona to get to the semifinals of the MAC was important for us because Iona had really taken it to us both times during the year, and that gave us some confidence. But anytime you can go on the road to a place like Xavier and come away with a 20-point win, and that Mercer game at home, it just kind of built on each game, kind of built on each other. And it's interesting. We had a couple scrimmages preseason, and going in the locker room, we didn't play that well in the first one, and we won for all intents and purposes, but we didn't play well, and it was really quiet in the locker room. And I was talking to some of the kids the next day, and I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? And they were like, we're really upset, Coach. And I'm like, what? And they were like, we played bad and we didn't win by enough. And in my head, that was what I was hoping to hear, so they kind of expect to win now, and I think that's an expectation that hasn't been in that locker room, at least, the 4 years I've been there, but for a long time.
You guys picked to finish 5th preseason in the MAC, highest projected finish since 2007, 2008. Now, you're around sports long enough. I know you're going to say the preseason polls don't matter, but is it satisfying to know that at least other teams, other places are starting to take notice of what's going on here?
Well, I think that's fair. I think being picked 5th is fair. We certainly don't want to finish there, but I think in this instance it might matter a little bit just because when we got picked 10th last year, and that was really fueled our fire. So to be picked 5th is a pretty big deal, and I think our players see that, but they also see the potential to hopefully win the whole thing.
You guys dealt with a slew of injuries last year. It was well documented even as you finished the season and went through that CBI run. You just weren't healthy. How nice is that going to be for you going into this year?
Well, anything can happen. I mean, we've unfortunately lost one of our returning guards to an off-season injury, but other than that, right now we're looking pretty good. It's nice to have a deep roster. In one of our scrimmages, I kind of looked down the bench and I was kind of feeling guilty because I couldn't play everybody, but at the end of the day, the goal is to win, so we're going to put a team on the court that can hopefully best do that for us.
You alluded to them a little bit earlier, but Megan Donahue, Margot Hetzke, they're two players that really kind of fuel your offense. How big are they? How good are these guys that we're going to get to see here for the next 5 months?
I think they're just really tough. I think they're physical, tough post players, and that was number one that we set out to recruit. That's how I want to play. I want to play a power game, pound the ball inside. They're skilled, and they can finish. And Meg's expanded her range, and Margot's, worked, and some other things as well. Being able to play at a faster pace, I think, is something that the two of them have really focused on. But we've added some ability to shoot the ball on the perimeter, so hopefully that opens things up for them even more, because it was so easy for teams to just double us and double off of certain players that weren't necessarily offensive threats. But I think that's going to be hard to do this year.
Siena College women's basketball coach Jaques with us, 104.5 The Team, 104.5theteam.com. Saints open up the 2015-16 season tonight against St. Bonaventure in the preseason women's NIT. Coach, best of luck. We're going to be talking to you again quite a bit over the next 5-6 months, I imagine, so good luck tonight.
I look forward to it. Thanks so much, and go Saints.